Dear all, today we are going to give you our final presentation for analyzing a predictive analytics business case for home equity case study. And this is Megan.
Elina.
And we are going to be together to give you our final presentation. Here is the agenda of our presentation. First, we are going to have a brief introduction about this business case study, and then we will come up with 5 frame questions. We will give the data preparation and descriptive analysis in the first, and then we have the correlation analysis and the multiple regression analysis and modeling for our case study. And finally, we will going to give you how we apply this data for the further business application use. And finally, we will have the conclusion for our whole project. First, let me give you a brief introduction about our case study. Our client, Chase Manhattan Bank, was formed by a merge of Chase National Bank and the Manhattan Company in 1955. After merger with JP Morgan in 2000, the bank is known as JP Morgan Chase Bank now. Chase offers more than 5,100 branches with 250,000 employees worldwide in more than 100 countries. In this case, we utilize various methods of data analysis, such as distribution analysis, categorical analysis, correlation analysis, decision tree, and multiple regression to analyze and manage this data. We want to build a data model for the bank to have a better prediction about whether this customer will default on their loan or not. Now here comes with our 5 business analysis frame questions. First one, that for Manhattan Bank, how to better understand the customers. The second one, what kind of information from the client will help us for decision making. Third question, is there any data model to predict and reduce loan churn for our bank? The third one, should Chase Bank approve a home equity loan? And is there any other information that we need from our customers? Now let's welcome Elina to give you the data preparation for you.
First part is about data preparation. Let me give you a explanation for our data variables. There are 13 variables in our data file. As you can see in the screen, like for example, default. If the number is 1, it means the customer defaulted on loan, and if the number is 0, it means the customer successfully paid loan in full. We also got the value, reason, jobs from the customers, and the year of jobs, like age of oldest correct line in months. And for the 13 variables, we're gonna use that and analyze the data for our prediction data model. Now we need to do a data cleaning. Before data cleaning, we totally got about 6,000 groups of data, but after using missing data pattern, we finally got 3,300 groups data. Moreover that, we also adjust variable type default from nominal to continuous. And here is our data descriptive analysis. First, we did a distribution about reason and job, and we did a pie chart from about default. From the pie chart, you can see that the bank's default rate is about 9%, which means there are about 9% of their customers who defaulted their payment on loan. And from the distribution of reason and jobs, we can see that there are 2 types of reasons and about 6 types of jobs from the customer information. And also, we calculated the mean of mortgage and loan so that we can deeply understand the current customer situation and our bank situation. After that, we did a data categorical analysis about reason and job to deeply understand what's going on in our customer and how they feel about from our loan. So in the reason part, the number of customers who request loan for home improvement is about 1,000, which covers about 30% in the whole database. And the other 40% of the customers would be because of debit cancellation. And in the job part, we found that many of our customers' jobs are profit Excel, which is about 900 of the total. Moreover, we also got other occupational category covering about 40% in total. That shows that bank may subdivided their job categories to better know their customers and even to do customer segmentation for the further step. Next, let's welcome Megan to continue about talking about correlation analysis.
Thanks, Elina. Now we are going to have our correlation analysis. In order to have a better understanding about all the variables, about how the correlative relationship between them, so we did the correlation analysis for this. As we can see from the picture that we put all the factors in the correlation analysis field, as we can see from the screen. In the first column, the number of major derogatory reports, number of declining credit lines, and also the debt to income ratio could be the most correlated with the default than the other variables. And also for the loan, mortgage value, year to jobs, credit line ages have negative impact on default, which also means that for these clients who had better performance on this field, may be impossible to default on their payment, which can help us to decide which factors or variables should be more useful in our case study analysis. And next we are going to talk about the decision tree. As we can see from the picture, from the result above, it also proves that these 3D are more have much impact on our evaluation about whether the customer will default on their payment a lot. And in order to gain more insight and predict a model for our evaluation, we decided to do the multiple regression for our business case. And we put the default in the Y field and put the other variables into the construct model effects. So we got the result as we can see from the screen. As we can see from the screen, we can easily get that this model is pretty good. However, when we check each p-value from each variables, we find out that the year of job has a p-value which is 0.0658, larger than 0.05, which means in this model, year at present job cannot be a proper variable to use. So we decided to eliminate this factor from our model and redo the multiple regression. After we delete the year at present job from the model, we get a result shows that in the new model, mortgage also has a p-value larger than 0.05. In order to continue to optimize the model, we decided to eliminate this factor to run the third round analysis. Finally, we got all improper variables out and get the models in the following with the factors all showing over there. And also we can easily get the equation for our model, which is also showing on the pages. So in the future for the banker, if we collect information from our clients, we can put in this equation and to get the result for the possibility of their default on their payment. If the result is closer to 1, which means this customer is highly possible to default on their payment. For the question one, because we have already analyzed all the data, we can have a better understanding of our customers' job and about their current situation. And also, moreover, according to the data we have, current default rate for Chase Manhattan Bank is about 9%. Question number two, what kind of information from the client will help us for the decision making? From the correlation analysis and multiple regression, we can easily get that for all these variables that this dataset provide to us, the numbers of major derogatory reports, the number of declined credit lines, and the debt to income ratio could be the most valuable factors that may influence our decision on our home equity loan. And let's welcome Elina to continue give more explanation about our data apply questions.
Framed question 3. Is there a data model to predict and reduce loan churn for Chase Manhattan Bank? Actually, according to the multiple regression that we did above, we can build a data model to predict the default result of loan for bank, and the equation is showing on the screen. Question 4. Should bank approve a home equity plan, a loan? Actually, it is coming with our equation that we talked about before. So bank could apply our data model to predict each customer's default probability. If the result is close to 1, we think that bank may consider to reject a home equity plan for this specific customer. And here is our the last question for the framed business analyze. Question 5. Is there any other information that we need from customers? Actually, there are a lot of customers beyond the variables in the data set that we can collect. We recommend bank could collect more information from the customer, for example, their income, their shopping expense, and even their loan history record to have a comprehensive impression of customer. Finally, we got conclusions below. First of all, we can build a data model for the bank to predict the default loan of customer. Second, the closer the result is to 0, the higher probability the customer will successfully pay loan in full. And we also got 2 recommendations for the bank. First of all, the customer segmentation. So it can help the bank to manage data and build various data models for each segmentation and predict their default rate specifically. And the other recommendation is about customer survey, because it's kind of a long-term process and cooperation between bank and clients. So keep in touch with their customers and get a better result of home equity loan. Thank you.
Thank you.